So let me ask you: do you think some people avoid it not just because it's tough, but because it they don't want the responsibility or the mantle
Yeah,
that the weight that comes with it?
yeah. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. And your castle could be a four people team, but it's tough. Welcome back, folks. This is episode 26. It's about your paycheck. Today, we're asking, can you lead without leading people? Can you
Ooh,
grow in your career without leading people? Before we get into that, how you doing today, Walt?
man, that's a good topic, man. I
Right?
love that you came out with that one. I'm good. It's another happy Sunday, man. Happy to be here. How about yourself, man?
Likewise, man. Likewise. Busy weekend, busy, but it's good. I'm finding a new balancing act of it all and just working. It'll get there. I'm really glad about the next few Sundays. We're gonna take some time off and trying to just get organized. Don't worry, folks. We're still putting out content. We'll still have stuff. We got stuff in the vaults that we're gonna share, some lost tapes and
Yes.
things like that haven't been put out yet. So it gives us a great opportunity to just me and Walt need a reset and get our life together. Get your I read. I don't remember the acronym. I thought about you when I read it, and you know how we always say we need to get our ish together, our shit
Mm-hmm.
together, right? Somebody
Mm-hmm.
broke it down. S was like strategy. H was something. I was T. And I was like, oh man, I was thinking about Walt.
uh,
Walt loves some
yeah,
acronyms.
I sure
Um,
do.
yeah. So let's jump right into it. We got some cool pay news today to share, folks, and Walt's gonna start us off.
Yeah,
Excuse me, bro. Man, I'm sorry, man.
you okay?
Nah, I'm feeling a little sick. Which reminds me, crap, man, I need to put in my sick time.
Oh, what system do you use?
Oh, TimeTrakGO, the simply better employee time clock software that is going to make your life easier. I don't know if you know, man, but it already has a unique graphical employee time card, and it's awesome because it helps you quickly identify and fix the mistakes.
That's right. Now that you say that, they just announced the addition of an automatic PTO accrual earnings, so you can say goodbye to those manual calculations. Time Track Go's new automatic PTO accrual feature takes the hassle out of tracking those earned and accrued times, assuring accuracy and consistency for both employees and HR teams.
Oh, that's golden. That's awesome. You know what? That's right. I remember that. I read that you can choose from various rules like yearly, monthly, pay period, hourly, and hourly percentage to seamlessly align with your company's policies. It includes new state sick leave. Awesome, because I'm not feeling good. That's going to help. And you can do vacation hours that automatically increase with length of service.
Man, like, how could someone find out what a simply better solution could do for their business?
Oh, to learn more, they're always doing a 14-day free trial. Someone should go to their website at www.timetrackgo.com. That's TimeTrakGo.com. Or if they want to call, the number is 888 321 9922. Let's go.
Let's go. So my article is from Yahoo.com, and it's a news article. And so there's 11 legendary ways that employees have left their jobs. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to go through the five that I like. So
Okay.
the article link will
Sounds
be in the show
funny.
notes. So yes, the first one is somebody quit their job. A Twitter employee quit their job by trolling the president. So former President Donald Trump, they deactivated Donald Trump's Twitter account. So even though it was only down for 11 minutes, they just decided to do it themselves. And so when Twitter found out, or X found out, they let go of the employee after doing the investigation because it was unprompted. Like the employee did it without being told to do it. So that was one. There was another
Ooh.
one where someone sent a cake to his job to start his because he wanted to start his own baking business. So
Uh-huh.
why not bake a cake and say, hey, here's my resignation in the form of a cake, or resignation letter in the form of a
God.
cake. and
That's hilarious.
yeah, and
Hope
so
he's a
he said it to
successful
his
baker
job.
now.
I hope so. Another dude, another manager, quit his job by at a fast food restaurant by performing Ice Baby with the I Quit shirt on top of the counter.
Seen that. Yes.
And then another
Yes.
one, another situation happened at a
Oh,
Chipotle in State College, Pennsylvania, where the entire staff quit, and they put
dang.
a note. Yeah, they put a note on the door saying that, "Hey, ask our corporate offices why employees are forced to work in borderline sweatshop conditions and stuff like that." They left it on the door, and they just nobody worked. So it's pretty interesting. There's some other stuff on here, a lot of fun stuff on here, and everything.
Crazy. That's a good one. I like that
Yeah,
Chipotle one. That's
yeah, and then the last one I liked was this former Taco Bell employee in 2011. This employee, sometimes they have the signs out where you can put the letters on instead of different
yes.
words like "come
Like
get
out in
this,"
front of
like 2 for 1
church.
special. Yes, like something
Got
like
it.
that. The little lit up signs with the little letters you can remove. You can always change
Yes.
them out.
Oh, yes, for
So
fast food places. Yeah, got it.
yes, so he put I quit Adam, which is the manager's name, and he put F you.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Dang,
so
people be
that's it,
sending.
man.
That's hilarious. It's
Yeah,
funny.
man.
Yeah, just check
So
that
there's
out. Yeah, I want to see the
Yeah,
other ones
there's
now.
more. Yeah.
Yep. Check that in the show notes, folks. Gosh, I'm thinking about segue into why some folks are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
Because you quitting your jobs in a legendary fashion. No, it's no connection, folks.
Yes.
It's just we've been talking
Yes.
about this so much, right? Why again, the new stats on it are 80% of the US population are now living paycheck to paycheck.
Man, that's shocking, man.
Yeah,
Because
like you said, if
it
you're
was
if
70 and then 10%,
it, yep. Okay, I think the number 78, like to be
but still,
exact in the
bro.
survey, but still closer to 80 than not. And it's like you said, and how you articulated it. If you're standing in a room with 10 people, 8 of those folks are living paycheck to paycheck. This is like
Yep.
to give folks an easy visual. And check out, I don't think it's the last episode or the one before that. We really talked about that a little bit more. And we defined like what paycheck to paycheck is and things like that. So this article is highlighting like based on how much you make, where you fall. And what was shocking is that a third of folks that make 200K or more, a third of them are living paycheck to paycheck.
That's crazy, man.
Yes. If for again for ease of understanding how we'll put it for us, right? A third is would be 1 in 3 people, right? Yeah, third, one third. And let me make sure. Yeah, a third of those earning
Uh,
200K live paycheck to paycheck.
yeah.
And
Or if we
then,
use the same, if we use the same example, sorry to cut you off.
yeah, no, no.
it- Out of 10 people, that would be 3 out of 10 people.
Oh,
A third.
yeah. See, 10 people making 200K, 3 of them are living paycheck to paycheck. And there's this article breaks down different categories between if you make less than 50K, if you make 500 and 100, between the 550 and 100K, more 100 to 200, and then over 200 or 200 and more rather. And then what it does is what I like real quick is the last thing, and then we'll move on, is that it breaks down the whys. Out of 8 categories, the top four are insufficient income, a large amount of debt, and paying for family members, and then non-essential
Mm.
spending. The large amount of debt you can control, and non-essential spending you can control. Living, paying for
So let me
family
ask
members
you,
could control too, in some respects. Go ahead. What's up?
were those ranked
What
in
do you
order
mean?
the way you read them out, or those like and say, okay, this is the number one reason?
No, the number
Um.
one reason was large
Oh,
amount of
okay.
debt.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I just gave the top
Wow.
four out of the 8 categories. Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
large amount of debt and paying for family members, pretty much the top two, and then insufficient income
Wow.
and non-essential spending. Yep.
So look. So see that there's other people are struggling, and those people that make 200K or more, like some of them have big hearts. It seems,
Yeah.
and they're paying and they're helping their members who are also struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, and that's putting them in that same category.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
tough.
exactly. Because exactly, a lot of us, you said it. We want to take help family. Think about a lot of U.S. folks that have family overseas, like back in their home
Yes.
countries. They're probably sending bread back.
Yes.
That's very common. Um,
Supplies, whatever. Anything
Yeah,
that got money. Yeah.
and I've seen that become a sticking point in relationships where folks are like, I have to send X amount of money back to my family, and like, why? What do you mean? And I'm just being plain devil's advocate. I know why, but that's tough because somebody from the US and their family's been in the US don't have any family in the old country, so to speak. They may not understand that and connect to that. And they're like, what do you mean? We sending money back to the country? Tell them to get their butt over here. Again, it causes the issues. But large amount of debt
Yeah.
is the one that stuck out to me because it's such an easier. No, I'm sorry. It's a controllable variable. It's a variable you can overcome with
Yeah.
intent, with intention, if you're proactive about it. And I think a lot of us, we learn that debt is a tool. If you talk to, if you read like Rich Dad Poor Dad ideology, he leverages debt. And if you don't know how to leverage debt, you just get stuck with debt, right? The rich are
Hmm.
leveraging debt to make money. They go buy another home and rent that home out. They're buying,
Hmm.
leasing buildings because they're subletting the rest of the building exponentially off to other companies. Like we
Yep.
said about recently, actually, I was saying it on a podcast that I was a guest on. I'm a host of this one. I'm not used to being a guest, and we got into talking about rich, poor, medium class, and middle class rather. And the rich, their ideology, the way they look at money is to send money. The way I saw the post, and I'm sure we shared it. One of us shared it between each other about how the rich put money as soldiers going out to make more money. Every dollar is a soldier that I'm sending to war to make more money for myself. You know what I mean? Whereas middle class looks at it like it's leveraging debt, and poor just look at money as to pay bills. We got to work hard, pay bills, work hard, pay bills.
Mm.
Right? It's these ideologies that get us stuck in those
Yeah.
buckets. So more to come on
Yeah.
that as we keep talking about these subjects and things like that. But yeah, man, it just stuck out to me like, wow, dang. It's
Good way
agnostic
to
of
think
your
about it.
income, right? Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how much you make. You could live paycheck to paycheck. I've seen broke millionaires. Like I've known broke
Hmm.
millionaires, like paycheck to paycheck, and they're millionaires. But
It's tough.
yeah, we got to have a
For
healthier
sure.
relationship with money and finance and financial wellness. It's got to really be front of mind, especially
Yeah.
if we
I
want
agree,
to
man.
have some bread in retirement, right? We want money in retirement.
Yes.
Uh,
That's the thing, right? The
yeah,
retirement age has increased,
yeah,
right?
it keeps increasing. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's because of that. They said I read another something that said you have to save $1 million, no, 10 times your salary by the time you're 67. And
Yeah.
that's even
So
late. I want to retire earlier than that, man. That's
yeah.
late to start. Oh, here's my retirement. No, that's like a second
Hmm.
phase of retirement for me, anyway.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get into it here. We're talking about, can you lead without leading people? And as we grow in our
Yeah.
career, it's like a question because especially in HR, when you're evaluating positions and evaluating things and compensation, you think about, oh, this person's a manager. Ah, is he a manager of
Yeah.
people? Or is he or she or they a manager of people, or are they a manager of a process?
Yes, because yes, the job title can have manager in it. I've been
Yep.
in that position myself where
Yeah, me too.
I had the title payroll manager,
Mm-hmm.
but the company was like, "Oh, you manage the payroll." Not
Not a
there,
not
and there
per.
was nobody else.
There
I
was
was the
nobody
only
else.
I was the only payroll person. Yeah.
Manage yourself and the
Yes.
process. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
So is, can you grow in your career without leading people, or is leading people a must? Walt is going to take us
Yeah.
through some 5 ways you can lead without being in leader. Well, without leading people. Is that what's meant, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm. So these are different ways that you can lead, right, without leading people. And if you start to do some of these, might set you apart, and people might start to realize, hey, Brian or Walt or Jane do these things. They might be in a position to lead people, and they may consider you for a leadership role. So these are some things that you can do to help you get to that place. So number one, and I agree that this is the top one, is you lead by example. So you lead by example with your peers, your cohorts. You lead by example in meetings through the organization. So that's by demonstrating punctuality, meeting your deadlines, maintaining a positive attitude, irrespective of your position or your age. An employee becomes a beacon of reliability and professionalism within the workplace by doing that. And your actions can inspire colleagues to emulate such behaviors, fostering a culture of accountability and dedication throughout the company, right? So lead by example. Number two, you can offer support and mentorship. So you can have all the experience
Yep.
and then you can help mentor other coworkers, other people. So proactively extending guidance and mentorship to newer colleagues, regardless of the hierarchy there, showcases a commitment to collective growth and development, which is something that we have to do as leaders anyway. We have to make sure that our team grows and our team develops so they're the best at their job, which is best for the company. So you can do that by sharing knowledge and offering assistance. And this helps cultivate a supportive environment where individuals of all ages feel empowered to excel and learn from one another. So, number three, you want to promote collaboration and communication. A good leader collaborates and communicates, right? So, by actively facilitating collaboration and communication among team members, that can encourage the exchange of ideas and foster a culture of inclusiveness and mutual respect, which creates platforms for open dialogue and idea sharing in this collaborative environment, right? So that will value diverse perspectives, and this contributes to overall productivity at work and innovation across all the different age groups or people groups, right? So another thing that's important and something I learned, number four, is taking initiative and ownership. That means you're willing to jump out there and do something without being told, knowing that it needs to be done.
Hmm.
And if you make a mistake, you're willing to take ownership of whatever happens, good or bad. So you do something good, take ownership. You make a mistake, take ownership, no matter what. So eh, being proactive, taking proactive measures helps address challenges or improve processes within their sphere of influence, and demonstrating a sense of ownership and accountability, like I said, will really help you out in while you're trying to strive to lead. And having these characteristics will help you along the way. And then number five, before I pass the baton here, is to advocate for change and for innovation. So recognizing the importance of adapting to evolving trends and technologies will help you advocate for change and innovation within the organization through proactive engagement with management, proposing new ideas, or participating in pilot programs or beta tests. Some is another word that you might hear. This can champion a culture of continuous improvement, forward thinking, and inspire your colleagues of all ages, groups, race, whatever, and help them embrace change and pursue innovative solutions for shared success. So those are the five things that I wanted to share that can help you lead without being in leadership. And then by you doing that and leading by example in all these different cases, I think that will propel you to be in a position to where you be considered, really considered for being in a leadership position, or either at your company or at another company. So that's my thoughts.
So let me ask you a question, because this is a question, really, right? So do you feel that you have to lead people to grow?
Eventually, yes, it comes to. I don't think. I think there's a certain point that you can do these things that we're talking about and just be growing at the same time without having people report to you or having direct reports. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to answer to someone and you have to like think about it. If we're in a position that has customer service or we offer customer service to employees, and this is
Hmm.
just my opinion, right? You may
Yeah.
agree or may not agree, but we have to sometimes instruct those employees. We have to sometimes lead those employees or teach those employees what they need to know about the system or their paycheck or whatever it may be, right? So that is a way that you can lead and that will help you be successful, and you can successfully do it and improve your job and grow in that way. That's why I got to that's that I feel, to answer your question, I feel that I got to a leadership position by doing these things and by doing all the things I just said, those five things, leading by example, by by offering support and mentorship, by helping people grow, collaborating, communicating. Yes, so you don't need to be in a leadership position or leading people in order to grow in your career. I don't believe that you need to lead people in order to grow. What about you? You disagree? Because for me, it depends on the phase of your career that you're in. Because if you're strictly always a manager, if you're in this manager title, manager phase of your career, then yeah, you got to learn. You got to definitely lead people, know how to lead people and stuff like that. But if you're still the junior, I don't think that you need to lead people in order to grow to the senior position.
Okay. I think the evolution of your answer tells us how difficult it is, the question, because you started off saying, yes, I think at some point you have to. And then you ended by saying, no, you don't.
I
So
think,
I'm just saying it's not an easy answer, right? It's very
yeah, yeah,
debatable. It's in my research, I found folks that grew to high levels without having to manage people. But it's I think the easy answer is that it's a quicker way to grow. It's an easy way to grow because people people don't often like dealing with people and others, and you know some people don't like the customer service parts of it. I hate dealing with people. I don't want to deal with people. Blah blah blah. That forward facing retail. Some people just don't like that. So when I think it's an easier way or a faster way that you can grow because it's undesirable for the most part for some folks or whatever is considered whatever it might be. Um, I do like the points that you had because doing those things, it's like either way, you're developing a good skill. Even if you stay as a manager of a process, the things that you pointed out would lead by example, offer support, collaboration, taking ownership of your things, and advocating for change and innovation in your process will absolutely help you grow, right? And it depends. You're right. It depends, I think, on what you're doing, what level you're at, what business you're in, whether you hit a wall or not on leading people or not, right? Now,
hmm
my points cover some if you if you do want to go in that leading people role or why or maybe you're on the fence. I don't know if I want to be a leader of people. There's some folks who we've known them, right? They actively reject promotion because they don't want to lead people.
yeah.
And
They're
if you're
okay
on the
being the worker
fence,
bee.
yeah, they're okay with it. Right. They're managing a process. They're an individual contributor, is what they call it in
Yeah,
HR. We call it an individual contributor, and which is fine. I think there's room for everyone, right? I think a good organization understands, tries to let people do and grow and where they're comfortable, right? But again, if you're on the fence, right, think about some of the things that what this can do. If it can help your career in a little in ways. So it can improve motivation, right? Effective managers can motivate their team. It can improve productivity. If you're good with your
yeah,
team, if you're really good at connecting with your team and you're a good manager of people, then it can help your productivity because one of again a very important HR ideology is that if you take care of your people, the people will take care of the business, right? It can improve the work environment. If let's say you're in a little corner and you and your team are in your own space and hey, you're able to create a comfortable, safe place for yourselves. And hey, this is how we get down. This is how we are productive. So that's awesome. If you're like a good host, you're probably a good people manager as well. I didn't say leader because that's different. That's a whole nother conversation. Leading and managing is different. It can improve the communication, right? If again, if you're in this place where you have dominion over your team, you give them a safe place to talk, you can improve that communication. And as me and Walt are subscribers of Ray Diallo's transparency, and the more transparent you can be and about your errors, about what you're not doing well, and all these good things, it's the better environment you can have to succeed, and more productivity can be born from that. It improves teamwork. It improves employee development. If you're really good at being a people manager, you can see where your folks because not everybody gets motivated by money. Not everybody's motivated by a title. Some people are motivated to lead other people where others aren't. So, or some people want just like a flexible, comfortable schedule. So it's your job. The bigger your team, it's your job to figure out what motivates each person, and then trying to drive that for them, because that's how you get the best out of them. And again, they'll develop from there. And it improves employee retention. If you're a good manager, what do we see on Facebook? I was going to say on LinkedIn so much. I didn't leave my job, I left my manager. You see it on there so much. Benefits, of course, yeah, there's good benefits to it. The benefits are countless. Being touching a person is, forget about it. It could mean the could change your life, and it can change their lives. Oh my gosh, this manager really. I've had managers in my life where I was at companies that I was just invisible, and it was fine. I was getting along, I was making my earnings, but then these new managers came on board, and they were like, I was able to shine differently and succeeded from it. It
Mm,
was like, oh my gosh, wow,
yeah.
it changed my life. And then at the end of the day, it improves brand, right? How we say we got to build your brand. You got to build your brand. So it improves your brand, but it also improves the company's brand. And if the company's recognizes those things, then it's both. It's improving your brand and their brand and your brand and their brand, and it elevates the brand, right? M-
Yes. Yep.
Being yours or theirs. So those are some of the things
Mhm.
that the benefits out of, if you're on the fence, like, I don't know, I'm getting these opportunities to be a manager, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with people. I've had managers that left it, that came in, they were veteran in the field, amazing professional, but they never managed people. And then they came in, managed people, and then left and was like, I don't want to manage people anymore, because it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy.
So let me ask you, do you think some people avoid it not just because it's tough, but because they don't want the responsibility or the mantle
Yeah.
that the weight that comes with it?
Yeah. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. And your castle could be a 4 people team, but it's tough. You have to now deal with the human dynamics of people and what they're going through. Remember when we talked to Brad Voorhees? We talked
Hmm.
to an HR expert on the other show, folks, and it's a good show. I got one day we'll find ways to drop these clips over on and cross pollinate and make sure everybody's getting the content. But if you go check the show with Brad Voorhees on It's About Your Payroll, it's about payroll. Sorry, this is It's About Your Paycheck. And he mentioned how HR is evolving to a place where HR may have to deal with personal problems of employees.
Yes,
That's
they
that's
are dealing with personal problems. Yeah.
you see, and that's front line. Where do you think that starts with? Their manager. They go to their manager first. Oh, hey, manager. And it could be a multitude of things that. And one of the thoughts and sentiments that I like is, as a good manager, you got to meet your people where they are. Right? You have to allow for them to have personal lives, because if not, then what are they doing this for? You know what I mean?
Man, yeah, I remember back in the day, I worked at places that felt like you couldn't even have a sick day. Like you
Hmm.
couldn't go to. There was language in some of the HR handbooks. If there was a family member that, unfortunately, God forbid, is morbid here, but they passed away, but they want your immediate family, and they were like,
Bereavement.
"Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't."
Bereavement. Yeah, I was just talking about that somewhere. I don't know. We talk so much about this stuff, but yeah, I was talking about how I had lost my uncle at a job, and my mom's brother, like, is my uncle, right? And I couldn't. I took the days, but I couldn't take it as bereavement. I had to take it out of my PTO,
Yep.
because it was the family member wasn't close enough, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, what? Who's to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, say you had a best friend that is not blood
Oh,
related, and you were like brother,
bro,
sister with your people, and then they pass, and their job tells you got to use your PTO, or you don't have
yep,
any PTO. Sorry,
gotta take. Yeah,
unpaid.
exactly. Yeah, and in the moment we may not care, and we shouldn't. I wouldn't even care. I would be like, look, eh, heaven forbid that happen. I probably at the point where I'm willing to lose the job to be there from, because like your brother like that, your family member, the friends who become family. Anywho, it's just, again, we as a those are the complexities, right, about like dealing with people. What's that?
Writing that down. That's a show right there.
Which one?
Talking about bereavement, family.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, folks, we wanted to just touch on that. And so the answer is really, it depends. Can you lead without leading people? Can you grow without in your career without
Yeah,
leading the people? It depends.
right.
It
As you can see,
depends.
Brian called me out. I said yes and no, and just Brian called me out for it. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go to the safe talk right now before we close out this show. And the safe talk question is: which is the more important skill to have as a leader? People skills or technical skills? What is more important, Brian, as a leader?
Um, it's not an easy question. Okay, so do you mean leader as now you have to lead people?
Yeah, leader.
Okay,
Yes, that's how I meant this question.
okay.
Yes.
If that's how you meant it, then yes, people skills are the more important piece
Really?
because, yep, that's what I think. Yep, because the
See, like
technical skills got you there, but the people skills are going to keep you there.
as a leader, I think it's the technical skills more, in my opinion, because if you don't know how to do your job, how are you gonna teach the other people how to do their job?
That's fair, but there are plenty. There's manager schools of thought ideology that says I don't have to know how to do your job. I just know how to have to get you to
True.
do your job.
True.
It's it's one of debate. You keep throwing doozies at us here because this is,
Just like the president, right? The president is the president
oh
of the United States, but he's not managing all the different. That's why there's a secretary of defense.
yes,
That's why
yeah.
there's secretary of transportation or whatever. All these different
Hmm.
departments, and they all report to the president, but the president is not in front facing on all of those every day like that. And
Yeah,
so, like, it's just. I, so I see your point from that skill point from that place about the people. So I guess at the end of the day, it might be both, which both
it's
skills are
both. Yeah,
important.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Again, it's what side of the fence you fall on, right? Because
Yeah.
you're saying this is the debate. You're falling on the side of I prefer managers that know what the f they're doing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Whereas I'm like, oh, if they're a good people person, they don't have to know that.
Yeah, because some this is what somebody said to me as a leader when
Okay,
I first became a
okay,
manager, and I
there we
was
go.
like, "Oh, the people, the people, the people,
There
the
we go.
people." But whoa, yeah, you're for the people. That's a lot of fluff, though. You got to teach them how to do their job. So that's what stuck out to me. Is just like, hey,
Uh,
yeah, Rob, and you know me, I'm all
yep,
for the people. I'm
yep.
all for my team.
People's champ.
But they were like, you got to level up on these technical skills.
Yes. No, there you go. So that manager was probably a proponent of the technical piece, right? Nope, you
Hmm.
gotta. This is what the job is. And again, and I think it just falls on one of these, one side or the other. You come up in the
So
place
really, it's
where
like a tightrope. You're
it's
walking the tightrope.
yeah, it's a balancing act. You're gonna no, I don't even know if it's that. You're just gonna have people on both sides where it's people skill, it's technical skill, it's people skill, and
Mm,
it's probably both. Yeah, it is a
yeah.
tightrope. It's the balance of both. Gosh, man, we got some. See, this is why it's a good show because it's like it's a good topic because it's like what's the right answer, and so much in payroll and HR, the right answer is it depends.
Yes. It depends. It
It
depends on the
depends.
environment. It depends on the
Yeah,
people. It depends on the nature of the job. It depends so many
it's
things.
and it's so annoying, but at least hopefully we're giving you some tools, some things that are helping to prepare.
Yeah. And what do you as an employee prefer? Do you
Right.
prefer a leader that is
Yes.
nice
That's a
to you?
good one.
Or do you prefer a leader that's, hey, this is what you do, boom, boom, and that's how you receive your leadership? Because everybody's different. Just like when it comes to these coaches, like they say, oh, he's a player's coach.
Yes, exactly.
Or is he like Bill
Yes.
Belichick and
How many coaches in all professional sports never played the sport,
yes. There's some
but
people,
they're
yes. Yes.
great coaches? I think of Van Gundy
Yes.
family right out the gate, right? Because
Yes.
Knicks, he was a
Yes.
Knicks coach for a long through successful Knicks seasons,
Yes.
right? He never played basketball. Maybe he played a
Yes.
little, but not on a professional level. He shot
Mhm.
hoops, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's such a here's a really good here's a good advice as we end the show, right? If you have a manager that leans one way or the other, you know that you need to supplement some other way, right? So if you have a manager that's a great people person, but you're not learning the skill that you want, now you know you have to supplement some other way to get that skill set you want. And then vice versa. You may
Mhm.
have the
Good point.
skills, you may have all the skills you need, but man, I just need a good people person to manage this team so we can be successful.
Yes.
And that again, that might be a little tougher to supplement because, ooh, but you may want to. Then talk to your man. Hey, look, we got the skills, man. We need you, person, to just help
Yeah.
us get to this point. You don't have to worry about our skill set. We're there. Let us prove that. And we need you to be an advocate of us to get, hey, better PTO, or we
Yes.
need a different break room. We need work from home days. We need this. We need that.
Yes.
That's what we need you to go fight for us for. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I've been in
Yep.
that
4
situation
10-hour
too.
days. Yes.
Yeah, we
Hmm.
want 4 10s, 3 12s, whatever the case. I've been in that situation as well, where my team was stacked with skills, and I'm like, I don't need to teach y'all anything. Let me just, what can I do? How can I help you in other ways? How can I be a
Yep.
tool? Because that's the part I don't think people tell folks say. When you become a manager, it almost becomes it's almost like a cycle, right? You start off
Yes.
supporting people. Oh, I'm gonna grow because I'm gonna be a great supporter in the team and this and grow. Ooh, rah. When you get to
You're
manager level,
never
you got to do the same thing again. It becomes you got
you're
to
ne-
become a
you're
cheerleader
never
again.
you're never not in a support role,
That's it.
right?
That's right.
So like
That's right.
you graduate as a manager, you graduate to another level of it. Where now instead of just supporting your manager or supporting the company, now you got to support your employees and you got to support the higher ups as well.
Yep.
And your
Yep.
counterparts like across the departments. Man, this is a great
Yep.
topic, man. It might be a good show for us to do. I was thinking about different shows and stuff. Good show. Speaking of shows, next show, as Brian said, we're going to take a few weeks off, but we have some things in the vault for you, some lost tapes, and we're going to start off that next week with some interesting stuff and everything, and
Yeah.
give you some stuff to really think about and everything, man. So anything before we close out?
No, man, that's it. I think it was a good one. Thank you, folks. We
Okay.
love you. Peace.
Peace. Before we sign off, here are a couple quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok. Thank you for being a part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.